It looks like Diddy is not getting out of this sinkhole anytime soon because Meek Mill has gone all the way and is willing to snitch on Diddy just to clear his name from the gay allegations. If you've been following the Diddy drama, you probably remember how DJ Academics claimed that Meek was one of the redacted names of the men involved with Diddy. It looks like Meek is fed up and is ready to go to any length to clear his name. The tweet that exposed Meek's snitching. For a couple of months now, Diddy has been getting dragged left and right, allegations flying everywhere. The feds got involved, and it looks like someone close to Diddy has been snitching. Because how did a governor become an unlikely player in a hip-hop meltdown? The tension between Meek Mill and Academics had been simmering for years, a feud that played out in the public eye with each jab traded on social media. But the stakes were raised when a lawsuit against Diddy surfaced, laden with allegations that implicated a Philadelphia rapper who dated Nicki Minaj. The internet was quick to speculate that Meek Mill was the unnamed rapper, and Academics wasted no time in using this to provoke Meek further. As the situation escalated, Meek Mill's response grew increasingly heated, culminating in a social media meltdown that caught the attention of none other than Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro. In an unprecedented move, Governor Shapiro reached out to the Philly rapper, a conversation that led to Meek Mill deleting his inflammatory posts. This intervention by a state governor was a startling development, signaling the gravity of the situation and the potential impact of Meek's words beyond the realm of hip-hop beef. Following Governor Shapiro's unexpected intervention, the atmosphere surrounding Meek Mill's social media outburst shifted dramatically. However, Academics, ever the provocateur, was not about to let the issue rest. He continued to needle Meek Mill, ridiculing him for yielding to the governor's advice and questioning his authenticity. Academics' taunt suggested that Meek Mill's compliance with the governor's request was a betrayal of his self-styled image as a street-hardened rapper. But then, it is quite understandable why Meek had such an outburst, because if there is one thing DJ Academics is, he is an instigator of controversies. His platform has become a digital arena for hip-hop's ongoing dramas, and Academics himself, a provocateur in the commentator's seat. Their relationship, if one could call it that, has been marked by a series of clashes. It was in 2017 when the embers of discord were first stoked. Meek took issue with Academics for not promoting his album Wins and Losses, igniting a fiery exchange that would set the tone for their interactions to come. As the years unfolded, their feud simmered, with occasional flare-ups that reminded the world that their truce was but a thin veneer. It was a conversation brokered by 21 Savage that offered a glimmer of hope, a ceasefire that suggested maturity and growth, especially from Meek. But as with many armistices, the peace was fragile. With DJ Academics' latest accusation, it has turned their past beef into something far more personal. The 73-page document, filed by Rodney Lil Rod Jones, casts a wide net, ensnaring a constellation of stars from Justin Combs to Young Miami. But it's the shadow of an unnamed Philadelphia rapper, a specter haunting the pages, that has captured the imagination of the public and the ire of Meek Mill. The response from Meek was swift and incendiary. Taking to X, the social media platform formerly known as Twitter, he unleashed hell on Academics. Academics, didn't I tell you, stop playing with my name? I don't know what I'ma do when I actually see you. It's gonna have a combination to it though, he tweeted, his words a combustible mix of threat and frustration. Academics, in return, denied fabricating the lawsuit's claims and even questioned the logic behind Meek's outrage. Wait, did you blame me for what a lawsuit said like I just made it up? LOL, no way. Honestly, I don't even think Meek gay, but it's weird ASF he got on Elon Musk's Twitter to blame me for what a lawsuit said and promote a song, LOL. The exchange escalated as Meek Mill condemned the insinuations about his sexuality and lifestyle. I'm from Philly, I don't do coke or freaky ass Molly, he declared, distancing himself from the scandalous implications. No man or what would ever approach me about gay activity, and the whole place don't get flipped. Woke up seeing this on every blog like they know I'm coming, LOL. Academics, in turn, labeled Meek as burnt out and suggested that the rapper's career had taken a nosedive, pointing to his departure from Atlantic Records as evidence, after Meek claimed that it was the governor of Pennsylvania himself who convinced him to delete his threatening tweets aimed at DJ Academics. Whack 100 isn't buying it. He's questioning Meek's narrative, suggesting that there's more to the story than meets the eye. Is Meek Mill maintaining his street credibility, or did he really snitch? Whack publicly challenged Meek's account of events, insinuating that Meek's actions were less about street justice and more about self-preservation, implying that Meek was playing politics rather than keeping it real. This accusation struck a chord, as being labeled a snitch in the rap community could tarnish even the most respected artist's street credibility. Whack 100 might be spot on with this one, because all of a sudden, after so many years and several escapes from accusations that could have ended him, Diddy's secrets have now begun pouring down all at once. In fact, his family has not been spared either, and the types of secrets being revealed can only be known by someone really close to Diddy. Meek Mill's secret betrayal of Diddy. Diddy's freefall of shame began back in November when a series of grave allegations surfaced against Sean Diddy Combs. Accusations of sexual misconduct sent ripples through the media as multiple accusers stepped forward, seeking legal action against the hip-hop mogul. Combs vehemently denied the claims, taking to social media to defend his reputation. In a December Instagram post, he condemned the accusations as attempts by individuals looking for a quick payday, asserting his innocence and vowing to fight for his name, his family, and the truth. As the legal drama escalated, Combs' legal team, led by attorney Aaron Dyer, issued statements denouncing the allegations. They painted a picture of an unwarranted attack on Combs' character, emphasizing that no criminal or civil liability had been established. In the weeks leading up to the March 25th raids, tension simmered as the public awaited the next chapter in the unfolding drama. The anticipation reached a fever pitch when, without warning, federal agents executed the search warrants at Combs' residences. The timeline leading up to the high-profile raids on Sean Diddy Combs' homes in Miami and Los Angeles is a tapestry of legal maneuverings and public declarations. The investigation's roots can be traced back to allegations that emerged in late 2023. Accusers brought forth claims of sexual misconduct against Diddy, and he stood resolute against the accusations, which he suggested were motivated by financial gain. As the legal proceedings progressed, the nature of the allegations remained the subject of intense scrutiny. Details were sparse, but the gravity of the accusations was evident. On March 25th, a significant operation was launched by Homeland Security Investigations, HSI, targeting the residences of Sean Diddy Combs in both Miami and Los Angeles. This action was not taken lightly. It was the result of meticulous planning and coordination across multiple jurisdictions, with the Southern District of New York spearheading the warrant. As federal agents swept through the opulent homes of the music mogul, they were not merely there for a cursory glance. They were on a mission to uncover evidence that could shed light on the serious allegations leveled against Combs. The search was thorough, and reports from NBC News confirmed that firearms were found at both properties. In a more invasive move, authorities seized Combs' phones in Miami, a step that underscored the depth of the investigation. The immediate aftermath of the raids was a whirlwind of activity and statements. Combs' attorney, Aaron Dyer, was quick to address the situation, condemning what he described as a gross overuse of military-level force. Dyer's statement to E! News on March 26th highlighted the treatment of Combs' children and employees during the raids, which he characterized as hostile and excessive. In a twist that added to the complexity of the day's events, one of Combs' associates, Brendan Paul, found himself in the grasp of the law. Arrested by the Miami-Dade police on suspicion of drug possession, Paul's predicament became another thread in the intricate tapestry of this unfolding drama. His attorney, Brian Bieber, signaled a preference to address the matter within the confines of the courtroom rather than the court of public opinion. Now, Diddy is not on his way to the bottom by himself. Even his family is getting dragged down with him with similar allegations. Things took an even crazier turn when Grace O'Marcaigh slammed Diddy's son, Christian Combs, with a lawsuit. In December 2022, Grace O'Marcaigh was employed as a steward on a yacht chartered by Sean Diddy Combs. The job, which was presented as a wholesome family excursion, took a turn when Christian Combs, Diddy's son, joined the gathering. O'Marcaigh's lawsuit alleges that on the night of December 28, Christian, appearing heavily intoxicated, directed unwanted attention toward her, initiating interactions that made her uncomfortable. The legal complaint filed by O'Marcaigh describes a pressured situation where Christian insisted she drink a shot of tequila, leading to her fear that the beverages might be laced. As the evening progressed, the lawsuit claims that Christian's conduct escalated to non-consensual physical contact. Supporting these allegations, the lawsuit references audio recordings that capture O'Marcaigh's clear refusal of alcohol and her demands for Christian to cease his advances. These recordings are said to provide evidence of the assault, including an alleged attempt by Christian to force O'Marcaigh into performing oral sex on him. As the allegations against Christian Combs surfaced, the response from the representatives of both Christian and his father, Sean Diddy Combs, was one of dismissal. Diddy's lawyer, Aaron Dyer, issued a statement to Fox News, indicating that they had not yet seen the claim, but were prepared for what they anticipated to be manufactured lies. Dyer drew parallels to another lawsuit filed by Rodney Jones, which, at the time of the statement, had not been served, suggesting a pattern of unfounded accusations against his clients. In the wake of the alleged incident, Grace O'Marcaigh took immediate action by reporting her experience to the yacht captain the following day. However, the lawsuit claims that her complaints were met with disbelief and no further investigation was conducted. O'Marcaigh alleges that instead of receiving support, she faced retaliation over the ensuing months, which led to her termination on May 2023. The lawsuit details the profound impact the alleged assault and subsequent dismissal had on O'Marcaigh's mental health. She reports suffering from anxiety, panic attacks, and severe suicidal ideations. all of which she attributes to the trauma of the assault and the lack of response from those in charge. When Cassie came out to accuse Diddy of physical and sexual assault, a lot of people did not take her seriously. I mean, Diddy is seen as a top dog and a very respected producer in the music industry, but that narrative quickly changed when leaked footage surfaced on the internet. The leaked footage, dated March 5th, 2016, allegedly shows a distressing encounter between Sean Diddy Combs and Cassandra Cassie Ventura in the hallway of the Intercontinental Hotel in the Century City area of Los Angeles. The video, which lasts 54 seconds, appears to depict Combs, clad in only a white towel, engaging in a physical altercation with Cassie, who was his protege and girlfriend at the time. The footage, aired by CNN, shows actions that suggest an assault. Combs is seen purportedly punching and kicking Cassie, as well as shoving, dragging her, and throwing a vase in her direction. This visual evidence closely matched the description of an incident outlined in a lawsuit filed by Cassie in November of the same year, which alleged years of abuse. The lawsuit specifically described an incident that took place on March 5th, 2016, at the Intercontinental Hotel in Los Angeles, which was strikingly similar to the actions depicted in the leaked security footage. The lawsuit claimed that Combs had become extremely intoxicated on the evening in question and had assaulted Ventura, resulting in a black eye. According to the lawsuit, after Combs fell asleep, Ventura attempted to leave with her belongings, which is where the video began. The footage allegedly shows Combs awakening and following Ventura down the hallway, where he is seen grabbing her, pulling her to the ground, kicking her, and throwing vases in her direction. The lawsuit was settled swiftly the day after it was filed, but it sparked a series of legal challenges and intense scrutiny of Combs. However, the settlement did not close the chapter on the scrutiny that Combs faced. What is even more baffling about the leaked video is who leaked it, because, according to Gene Deal, Diddy's former bodyguard, Diddy paid the hotel thousands of dollars to make sure the video was deleted and kept from the public eye. Now, shortly after the release of this assault video, the public began to raise speculation about Diddy's ex and baby mama's death. According to the autopsy reports, Porter had passed away in her sleep in November of 2018 at the age of 40. The initial reports cited pneumonia as the cause of death. However, not everyone was content with the explanation provided. If you followed the news, Al B. Shore, who had remained close to Kim over the years, emerged with a series of cryptic messages that cast doubt on the circumstances surrounding her death. His posts on social media hinted at a darker reality, one that suggested Kim's death was not as straightforward as the world was led to believe, and he advised her to contact the FBI. The gravity of Al B. Shore's words could not be ignored. Why would he suggest contacting the FBI? What did he know that the public did not? His insinuations of foul play and his use of the word murder in reference to Kim's death opened a Pandora's box of speculation and intrigue. The intensity of the public's reaction was matched only by the swiftness with which Al B. Shore seemed to retreat from his initial stance. The post that had sparked such widespread speculation was edited, and the mention of the FBI was removed. But the genie could not be put back in the bottle. The seed of doubt had been planted, and the questions continued to grow. Why had he edited the post? Was it a retraction, an admission of error, or something more calculated? And most importantly, was Diddy involved in her death and also tried to cover it up again? Regardless of what really happened, why would Meek Mill want to betray Diddy if he gave him everything to become famous? Meek literally went from a street rapper who did freestyles on the street to a world-famous rapper. Why would Meek Mill betray Diddy? Let's look at it from this angle. There is a high possibility that Meek Mill secretly does not like Diddy because of the allegations that have been tied to his name due to his relation to Diddy. Social media fans have even made this allegation worse, as they even nitpicked Meek's song lyrics, accusing him of being gay. When the saga of producer Lil Rod filing a lawsuit against Bad Boy Records founder Diddy, alleging sexual harassment and assault started, an audio clip surfaced online, allegedly capturing an intimate encounter between Meek Mill and Diddy. The clip's origin was traced to an unverified TikTok account. The provocative and contentious content found its way onto Twitter feeds, TikTok scrolls, and Instagram stories, reaching millions of ears and sparking a cacophony of reactions. The public's engagement with the audio was a spectacle in itself. Memes erupted across the internet, some taking a humorous approach to the scandal, while others expressed concern over the potential invasion of privacy. The hashtag #Diddy and Meek became a trending topic, with users dissecting every second of the clip, debating its authenticity, and speculating on the implications for both artists' careers. Celebrities and influencers did not shy away from the conversation. 50 Cent, known for his unfiltered commentary and social media antics, took to Instagram to share his take on the situation, further stoking the flames of public interest. Andrew Tate, a controversial figure with a significant online following, also chimed in. Although there were speculations that the audio was AI generated, it obviously got to Meek because there is nothing he can say that can clear him of the gay allegation. Now, if DJ Academics was right and it was actually Meek Mill's name redacted in that lawsuit, then unlike all other Diddy the accusers, Meek Mill might actually be playing this the smart way, because everyone knows Diddy's in a circle of very powerful people, and powerful people stay away from the law for a very long time. Just take a look at Jeffrey Epstein. Once hailed as a financial wizard and mingling with the elite, Jeffrey Epstein's facade of respectability crumbled under the weight of harrowing allegations. His name, synonymous with wealth and power, became entangled in a web of sexual assault accusations. Despite a 2006 arrest, Epstein evaded severe consequences, slipping through the cracks of the justice system. The Palm Beach police, armed with warrants and a sense of foreboding, uncovered a pattern of sexual abuse that was as systematic as it was horrifying. Teenage girls, some as young as 14, were lured into Epstein's opulent residence with promises of money and opportunity. What followed was a cycle of exploitation, where the vulnerable were ensnared in a predatory trap. As the evidence mounted, Epstein's arrest sent shockwaves through the echelons of power. Yet the justice system, which so often promises impartiality, faltered. Epstein's wealth and influence cast a long shadow, and the resulting plea deal and a 13-month prison sentence struck many as a mockery of justice. The plea deal, orchestrated by then U.S. Attorney Alexander Acosta, would later unravel as a horrendous miscarriage of justice. In the words of Miami Herald reporter Julie K. Brown, a tenacious reporter for the Miami Herald, refused to let the story of Jeffrey Epstein's lenient plea deal fade into obscurity. 11 years after Epstein's conviction, Brown embarked on a mission to unravel the truth behind his controversial agreement with the justice system. Her investigation was fueled by a determination to shine a light on the experiences of the survivors, whose voices had been stifled for far too long. Brown's relentless digging through court documents and police records, coupled with her interviews with detectives who had worked on the original case, revealed a disturbing tapestry of power, manipulation, and systemic failure. She identified 80 survivors, many of whom had been adolescents when they suffered repeated abuse within the walls of Epstein's mansion. The impact of Brown's reporting was seismic. The public outcry that followed her 2018 series for the Herald was impossible to ignore. People were outraged by the details of the plea deal, which now appeared not just as a failure of justice, but as an indictment of a system that seemed to protect the wealthy and powerful at the expense of the victims. The reverberations of Brown's work reached the highest echelons of government, leading to the resignation of Labor Secretary Alexander Acosta, who had been the U.S. attorney responsible for signing off on Epstein's plea deal. The scrutiny intensified, and federal authorities were compelled to act. Epstein was arrested once again, this time facing new federal charges that promised to hold him accountable for his alleged crimes. As Epstein's world began to crumble, the public watched with a mix of vindication and disbelief. The once untouchable financier was now behind bars, his fate hanging in the balance. The survivors, emboldened by Brown's reporting and the renewed attention to their plight, awaited justice with bated breath. The narrative of Epstein's downfall was punctuated by a twist that no one could have anticipated. In August of 2019, just a month after his arrest, Epstein was found dead in his cell, an event that was officially ruled a suicide. Yet the circumstances surrounding his death were shrouded in mystery, fueling speculation and conspiracy theories. In the legal arena, the focus turned to Epstein's associates as prosecutors worked to dismantle the network that facilitated his crimes. The arrest and trial of Ghislaine Maxwell, charged with aiding Epstein's abuse, signaled a commitment to holding enablers accountable. Although for many of Epstein's victims, his death was a quick escape from punishment and was not the kind of punishment they would have loved, just the way Epstein, who was supposedly untouchable, went down suddenly. Harvey Weinstein, who has gone down the same path of sexual assault and ended up in jail. Similar to Cassie's lawsuit, in October 2017, the New York Times published a bombshell report that exposed decades of allegations against Weinstein. The report, the sordid details of sexual harassment, claims that had been whispered about but never brought to light. Actresses Rose McGowan and Ashley Judd stepped into the limelight, not for their roles on screen, but for their courage off it, as they accused Weinstein of using his towering position to demand sexual favors and silence his victims with settlements and threats. Weinstein was a Hollywood kingpin who allegedly preyed on women, promising to elevate their careers in exchange for their silence and compliance. Weinstein, in a feeble attempt at contrition, issued an apology, admitting he had caused a lot of pain, yet he contested the allegations of harassment that went on for nearly 3 decades. He declared a leave of absence from the Weinstein Company, seeking refuge in therapy, but the tide had already turned. Within days, the board of the Weinstein Company, struggling with the new information about Weinstein's misconduct, severed ties with him. The dominoes continued to fall as more voices joined the chorus of accusers. The New Yorker magazine, following a 10-month investigation, published the horrifying accounts of 13 additional women, including 3 accusations of rape vehemently denied by Weinstein. Asia Argento, Lucia Staller, now known as Lucia Evans, and a third woman who remained unnamed, recounted their alleged sexual encounters with Weinstein, with incidents dating back to 1997. The scandal's crescendo saw Hollywood A-listers Gwyneth Paltrow and Angelina Jolie recount their own experiences of harassment at the hands of Weinstein. The revelation revelations sent shockwaves through the industry, prompting Weinstein's wife, Georgina Chapman, to announce her divorce from the disgraced business mogul, citing her young children as her priority. As the scandal unfolded, the story of Weinstein's predatory behavior became a call for law enforcement. Police in the United States and the United Kingdom began investigating specific allegations, though no charges were immediately brought. Rose McGowan, in a bold move on Twitter, accused Weinstein of rape, an allegation he unequivocally denied through his publicist. The story of Weinstein's alleged transgressions was a horrifying and sorrowful one, with each new revelation adding to the gravity of his downfall. The Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, the custodian of the Oscars, expelled Weinstein, stating that the problem he represented had no place in society. The British Film Institute followed suit, withdrawing the BFI fellowship it had awarded him. As the days progressed, the list of accusers swelled, with British actress Lisette Anthony alleging Weinstein raped her in her London home in the late 1980s, and another woman claiming a similar assault in 1992. Across the Atlantic, the New York Police Department and the Metropolitan Police in London received a litany of sexual assault allegations against Weinstein, spanning from the late 1980s to as recent as 2015. The story of Weinstein's unraveling scandal was not confined to the victims alone. It brought to light the complicity of an industry that had, for too long, turned a blind eye to the abuse of power. As the world watched, the once mighty Harvey Weinstein was reduced to a monster who abused power and silenced the vulnerable. He was convicted in New York of rape and sexual assault and sentenced to 23 years in prison. However, this conviction was recently overturned due to procedural errors, and a new trial is pending. In Los Angeles, he was found guilty of additional charges and sentenced to 16 more years. Despite the setbacks, these convictions mark significant legal repercussions for Weinstein's actions, offering a semblance of justice to the many women who bravely came forward. It does not matter how powerful or how successful one can be. The moment the public is against you, it will take not so much for them to drag you down, especially when evidence begins to pile up or people are willing to tell their story and snitch. If Meek Mill truly has been behind all of Diddy's leaked allegations, then Diddy has something greater coming for him, because who knows what else Meek is about to release. Click on one of the cards on the screen to see more videos like this.